So we'll try to get to that question later. That's going to require a lot of thought. My name is Stacey Benson, and I am the campaign coordinator for Yes on Issue 8. And Connie raised so many great points that I think we need to think about and we need to address. She has passed out a fact sheet, and I think we need to start there. When we look at the facts of our waterworks, it's phenomenal. It's amazing. And most of you who are in this room have paid for this facility. You have paid for all of these great accomplishments in your lifetime, and your ancestors have paid for this. We own this. This is our waterworks. And I think we have to think long and hard before we sell off such a valuable asset. Connie is right. The debate on whether or not to sell waterworks, that certainly will come later. I'll give you a little bit of the background. AFSCME, the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, represents the employees that work for the waterworks. And as this study began, AFSCME had to work hard to get on this group and participate in this study. And we had quite a few concerns that we were able to express during this study. One being that in order to create the water district, we had some challenges. One being that would our employees be covered, not just covered and work for the water district, but would the employees, the collective bargaining agreement remain the same? Up to this date, we still have not had a contract with the city that says everything will remain the status quo. Our second concern was that many of you who may be retirees or know retirees from the city of Cincinnati, there's an issue with the legislation. And that legislation says that if a water district is developed, that those employees wouldn't remain in the city of Cincinnati retirement system. That's scary. The retirement system is struggling. And if you take out 260 employees and any new employees that would go to the water district, it would bankrupt the retirement system. So as a labor union and concerned about labor issues and the plight of working families, we had to address this study and had to address this in the best way possible. As the study developed, and there were still questions as to some of the security that the employees was looking for, we began to see additional concerns about the impact on the citizens. This water district that would be created has a lot of power. The water district, if created, number one, as Connie said, it wouldn't be ran by the city. The mayor, with the authority of council, has the authority to appoint board members. So what that means is once every 3 years, once every 4 years, or once every 5 years, the term hasn't been determined, the only control the city would have would be to say, you 6 people get to be on the board. That's it. This water district has the power to levy a property tax. This water district has the power to raise the rates. This water district has the power to take your land for the purposes to make sure that the water district runs properly. That's a lot of power for us to sell or transfer to a private district. And those are our concerns. We can't afford to have another Duke. We've experienced that. We've been down that path, and I think we need to be extremely careful when we start looking at selling off our assets. We have hardworking city employees who make sure that if something happens and a water main breaks, you're never out of water too long. These employees are proud of what they do. We have standards that are extremely high. Our water is as good as it is because we exceed the EPA standards and requirements. The water district doesn't have to do that same thing. They only have to meet the standards set forth by the EPA. We exceed those standards. Why would we want to give that away or transfer that away? All of us are facing hard financial times. And I think the citizens and the employees understand that. But when we think about a family, if you're facing hard financial times, the last thing you try to do is sell your house. you hold on to that. You're going to hold on to your assets. You're going to hold on to your foundation to the very end. They may take everything else you have, but you won't take my assets. This is our asset, and we have to be proud enough of it to hold on to it. And so we had some serious concerns. The ballot initiative may appear to be premature, but it's not. The way the statute is written, the citizens have to vote on the creation of a water district one way or the other. As it stands right now, council, and they do have a resolution that is drafted to begin the process to create a water district. We've showed up at council meeting after council meeting after council meeting to stop that from going forward. But that resolution is drafted. But what it says is that the council has the authority to go forward and create that water district without a vote of the people. The vote of the people then comes in once council has already said they want to move forward. You still have to vote on a water district. But the way you would vote if we hadn't have done this ballot initiative, you would have to vote to overturn the decision that council already made. That requires a lot more signatures to even get the issue on the ballot. So what we had to do was we had to decide we want to have that vote right now. We want to have the vote that tells city council that you cannot sell or transfer our assets without our vote. And that's what issue 8 says. Issue 8 says that in order for city council to go forward and sell off or transfer our waterworks, what we paid for, to a water district, they would have to have a yes vote from the people. So this vote right here is just as Connie said, this is about your right to vote on a water district if the city goes forward. So you vote yes because you want to maintain that right. Whether you're for a water district or against a water district or still unsure about a water district, issue 8 is about protecting your right to vote on whether or not the city sells or transfers off a major asset. It's a two-part process. We just elected to go forward with part 1. And part of that because we were unsure about the city's actions. We suggested that the city go forward and have the conversation with the state legislators to find out about the issues with the retirement system. To date, and to my knowledge, and calling the public employees retirement system because that's who would have the retirees would transfer from the Cincinnati retirement system into the Ohio public employee retirement system, nobody has raised that question from the city of Cincinnati with the PERS board. The state legislator has not been petitioned to make sure that we keep these retirees in our retirement system. There are some things that the city needs to do. And this study was completed, or this here, what you have on the table was prepared in April. And the city, irregardless of this ballot initiative, could have moved forward. They could have petitioned the legislature to get this language changed to make sure that these employees would remain in the retirement system. They could have petitioned the court to move forward, but it has not occurred. And so we didn't want to leave the future of the employees or the citizens dangling out there. We wanted to go ahead and move this issue forward and